Kristy's brother Charlie is having a hard time deciding which college to go to. Dozens of colleges have sent him free pamphlets begging him to pick them. Wow, that's sort of the opposite of my college experience. I guess colleges would rather recruit the football star from the millionaire family over me.
Argo Font Book Review, Argo Font Book Review.
This book was written by Peter Larangis. He wrote 7 of the last 10 books, not including this one, our book 109, which he also wrote. I wonder why he took over the entire series for about a year. Kristy wins some concert tickets in a radio contest. She decides to take Charlie and his friend Travis. From Don and the older boy, why is Charlie still hanging out with that jerk? Kristy also takes Claudia, who has extra weird fashion today.
Her hair was pulled back with a hair clip in the shape of a VCR. I wanted to press the eject button to see if a teeny cassette would pop out.
Kristy's softball team has been doing badly recently. She gets one of her great ideas, spring training. They'll practice softball every day this week. I'm sure all the parents love getting free babysitting for their kids during spring break. Kristy normally runs practice by herself just fine. For whatever reason, she decides that's not good enough now. She needs an assistant. Her brother Charlie volunteers to help. He's got a lot of free time because he just broke up with his girlfriend Sarah. Aw, poor Charlie. Charlie says he has a friend who can invite a famous baseball player to the practice. He's interrupted before he can say who it is. Charlie is a great coach. The kids love him. The problem is that all the kids listen to what he says and follow his orders. Wait, that's a problem? Yes, it's a problem. They're not paying attention to Kristy. She's mad the kids are listening to the cool high schooler instead of her. Why is she not the center of attention? Here's something weird. The Hisu kids have a new babysitter named Angelica. Normally, Kristy would have a meltdown over losing one of their clients to a random stranger. But the thought that Angelica's stealing the club's business doesn't even cross Kristy's mind. She's too distracted because Charlie and Angelica flirt with each other. Ew. He gets a makeover to impress her. She wears terrible perfume. He wears terrible cologne. Kristy complains a lot about Angelica. She liked Sarah better. At least Charlie acted normal around her. Kristy runs into Sarah by accident. She thinks Sarah still likes Charlie, so Kristy tricks them into going out on a date. That is, she tells Sarah to meet her at a restaurant at 1, then she tells Charlie the same thing. As you'd expect, the plan backfires and they don't get back together. Charlie gets mad at Kristy, and he gets even closer to Angelica. They show up late to practice, and they leave early to play on the swings. Kristy is so mad, she accuses Charlie of abandoning the team, just like how Dad abandoned his family. Ouch, Kristy, that's going too far. There's a joke chapter where Marianne has to be the assistant coach. She does a terrible job. Also, Marianne runs messages back and forth between Charlie and Kristy, since they both refuse to talk to each other. Way to be mature about it, Kristy. Charlie decides to take Angelica to the concert. He asks to borrow Watson's car. You'd expect him to borrow Watson's fancy sports car from Book 8, but no, Charlie takes the Oldsmobile. Charlie has no idea how to drive it. He keeps turning too fast and stopping too quickly. He blames the car's power steering and power brakes, even though those make it easier to drive, not harder. Angelica offers to drive for him. She goes way too fast and the police pull them over for speeding. That's when Angelica reveals she doesn't have a driver's license. She tries to switch seats with Charlie while the car is still moving, which is a terrible idea. She crashes the car into a guardrail, and it's so wrecked it won't start up again. They're all taken to the police station. I wanted to see Angelica's parents and how they react to the situation, but no, we see Claudia's parents. Why do we need to see the Kishis get mad at Claudia? And why are they mad at her? Out of all the people in the car, she's the least to blame for what happened. As punishment for his bad behavior, Charlie is forced to pay a fine, he can't drive for a month, and he needs to stop dating Angelica. Charlie skips the next practice to avoid Angelica, which really lets the team down. They were hoping to meet the famous baseball player. Luckily, Sarah shows up to practice. She's the friend who knows the famous player. She arranges for him to show up tomorrow, and she volunteers as the co-coach. Kristy loves having Sarah help out. Not only does Sarah follow all of Kristy's orders, but she doesn't steal Kristy's spotlight. That's pretty much all Kristy wants from an assistant. It's no surprise that Angelica is a jerk about what happened. She writes Charlie a breakup letter, which calls him immature and blames him for everything. Charlie worries he is immature, since he missed practices and doesn't know about college. What if he's a failure, just like Dad? Kristy cheers him up by confessing how much she always looked up to him as a role model. I don't care what the other critics say, I thought this scene was sweet. The famous baseball player coaches for a day. Everyone loves him, including Kristy. She doesn't complain he's stealing all the attention. Now the baseball player helps with the romance by telling Sarah to wrap her arms around Charlie and show him how to bat. Oh my. Famous baseball players love high school romance. The end. Post-book follow-up. I like this book. It's funny, it's got love drama, and it's nice to see Charlie take the spotlight for once. Normally he doesn't do anything besides act as Kristy's chauffeur. Putting him in a baseball book was a natural fit. It's a little weird how Kristy was so obsessed with Charlie's love life. She has shown zero interest in his dates in the past. I don't think she cared that much when Sam was dating Stacy, one of Kristy's good friends. Imagine if the roles were reversed and Charlie wanted Kristy to get back together with Bart that badly. It'd be weird, right? Some critics complained that the book dropped the storyline about the kids liking Charlie more than Kristy. That's kinda true, there could have been more resolution to that subplot. And now that I think about it, there's no babysitting subplot like normal. This book is all focused on baseball and love drama. Overall, I liked it. I understand the criticisms that Kristy's obsession with love is out of character for her, and that baseball's boring in general, but those things didn't bother me. Maybe I like this book because it's one of the rare BSC books that is boy-centered. It helps a lot that the boy is a developed character who readers already know and care about. I wonder if Sam is going to get his own book now. I give Babysitters Club number 107, Mind Your Own Business, Kristy! Oh man, that is such a great title. That could be the title for so many books. Mind Your Own Business, Kristy, an 8 out of 10.